It was the protest that brought Sydney to a standstill. Thousands marching across the Harbour Bridge.
Rain-soaked streets, a sea of flags, a cry for justice that echoes across the globe. The world is waking up, and one city just made history. On August 3rd, 2025, tens of thousands, some say up to 300,000, marched across the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia, defying torrential rain to demand justice for Palestine. They called it the March for Humanity, and it was a thunderous rebuke of Benjamin Netanyahu's brutal policies in Gaza. Organized by the Palestine Action Group Sydney, this wasn't just a protest, it was a historic roar against starvation, slaughter, and silence. Over 60,000 Palestinians dead, children wasting away from hunger, and a war machine led by Netanyahu that refuses to stop. This is why Sydney marched, and why the world is watching. Picture this, the iconic Sydney Harbour Bridge, packed with people, stretching as far as the eye can see. Umbrellas up, Palestinian flags waving, and pots and pans clanging. A haunting symbol of the hunger crisis tearing through Gaza. Families brought their kids, like 8-year-old Aliyah, whose parents said, "We're teaching her to stand against injustice." Even WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange joined the crowd, alongside former New South Wales Premier Bob Carr and federal politician Ed Husic. Their presence screamed one thing: the tide is turning. People aren't just angry. They're done with leaders like Netanyahu, who block peace and dodge accountability. The marchers demanded 3 things: unrestricted aid to Gaza, an immediate ceasefire, and sanctions on Israel. Why? Because Gaza's children are starving. Because entire neighborhoods are rubble. Because Netanyahu's government keeps rejecting ceasefire talks while the body count climbs. They chanted, "Free Palestine," and "Ceasefire now," their voices cutting through the rain. Some even shouted, "Long live the Intifada," a raw cry of resistance that rattled critics. But let's be clear, this wasn't about hate. It was about humanity demanding an end to a crisis that's killed tens of thousands and displaced millions. And here's what makes this march epic. It almost didn't happen. New South Wales police tried to block it, citing safety concerns and traffic chaos. They dragged the organizers to court, backed by Premier Chris Minns, who seemed more worried about gridlock than genocide. But on August 2nd, the New South Wales Supreme Court said no. The march was on. Over 1,000 cops, riot squads, and mounted police lined the streets, expecting trouble. They got none. Just a peaceful, powerful wave of people, proving you can't silence truth. The bridge shut down for hours, and Sydney's streets pulsed with purpose. This wasn't just Australia's fight. It's part of a global surge. France, Canada, the UK, they're all pushing to recognize Palestine at the UN next month. Even Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese talks about a 2-state solution. But he's dragging his feet, too scared to challenge Netanyahu's grip on global politics. Meanwhile, Gaza bleeds. The marchers carried signs, banged pots, and held up pictures of starving kids to say, "Enough." Netanyahu's war isn't just Israel's. It's a stain on every leader who stays silent. Look at Aliyah, that 8-year-old in a keffiyeh, marching with her family. She's not just a kid. She's a symbol of hope, of a generation that won't let this injustice slide. Her parents said it best: "We're here so our kids learn to speak for those who can't." That's the heart of this march. It's not just about Gaza. It's about humanity refusing to let Netanyahu's legacy be one of destruction. So, what now? Sydney's march is a spark. It's a call to every one of you watching. Join a protest. Share the truth. Amplify Palestinian voices. The world is shifting, and Netanyahu's time is running out. From Sydney to Gaza, the message is clear. Justice will rise, and we won't stop until Palestine is free. Hit that like button, share this video, and let's keep this fire burning.